He has to take it so slow. Welcome to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols alongside former NBA head coach David Fizdale, ESPN senior writer Ramona Shelburne. Coming up, guys, Paul George and Devin Booker got into a heated argument during the game last night. Paul said afterward he has been the target of more trash talk this season than in the past. Does he still have work to do to silence his doubters? We're going to discuss that. First, though, a lot of sports is binary, right? The ball goes in or it doesn't. It's called a foul or it isn't. Either you win or you don't. There is no gray area. So it's not shocking that over this past weekend, there was a lot of binary talk about Steph Curry, especially if you go back to Friday night when Portland thumped the Warriors by 25. Curry was still Golden State's leading scorer that night, but even he called the evening, quote, demoralizing after making just 4 of his 12 three-point attempts and finishing the game a minus 27. And boy, did that get people talking. Depending on which corner of the internet you hang out on, you heard Steph described as either a martyred saint whose otherworldly trials included roster instability, injuries, and the boxing one, or as an aging, overhyped role player who can't cross the street without a Kevin Durant-shaped cane in his hand. For days, the debate raged, stirred further by some Damian Lillard comments about how, quote, it's different than the past 4 or 5 years for Steph, and that, quote, he's seeing it's tough to get those quality looks now. Of course, if you actually listen to the full interview, Lillard was not remotely taking a shot at Curry. He was making a much larger point about how both for him and Steph Curry, there is sometimes not much you can do when an opposing coach is throwing 3 or 4 defenders at you on every trip down the court. But the Steph is overrated crowd grabbed those Lillard headlines and ran with them so loudly that even Steph himself couldn't ignore all the buzz. By the time he stepped onto the court last night for the bookend of the Warriors' 2-game homestand against Portland, he was determined that things go differently, and boy, did they, as Steph brought out all the tricks. Handles? Yeah, check. Whew. Little reverse up and under there? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, he can just do that, Fizz. And the threes, off balance? No problem.
I love it.
Catch and shoot.
I mean, goodness. I mean,
no problem.
You talking about one of the 2-time MVPs, Rach.
Woo! Woo! Now, it was not the most important game of Steph Curry's career, but it was one of the best he's ever had statistically. And even in a mostly empty arena, there was that other essential part of any true Steph Curry masterpiece, that kind of liquid joy that spills across the court and uplifts an entire team. Like, say, rookie James Wiseman, who racked up his first career double-double. In the locker room after the game, Steve Kerr gathered the team and actually said he was going to give the game ball to Wiseman, pump faking it toward the youngster before then instead sending the ball to Steph. The stunt sent several guys to the floor laughing, and then when they met with the media afterwards, they were universal in their praise, not just for Steph's game, but the way he had handled the tornado of criticism all weekend.
I think that was right up there with the majority of them. With the best of them. Just because of, all the talk that's been going around. I could just see, like, Steph has a tendency at times to kind of around with the basketball. There was no around. He came out and everything was shot or attack. Like, and me, I watch a guy's eyes. He never looked to pass once in the beginning of the game.
It's crazy. It reminded me of 2K because I used to play with Steph all the time and I used to drop like 60. So just like actually watching it personally, that was phenomenal.
And then there was Steph himself making a last dance joke.
You the Jordan meme, right? I take all that personally. I don't get frazzled too easily, and very confident in who I am, and as a person, as a basketball player, and there's not going to be anything you can say about me or to me that's going to affect that. It's going to be, that kind of narrative from here on out, and I love it.
I had hoped for a brief moment that Steph's performance may quell some of that binary talk online. Of course, that wasn't going to happen. Even as Steph was still at the podium, debate was raging between the I told you so crowd versus the, hey, it's just a regular season game crew. Mm-hmm. The truth, of course, is somewhere in the middle. Steph is a generational, truly great player who also does need to figure out this season how to make more of a nightly impact leading a depleted team. It's not a binary problem. And last night's outburst cannot be the regular solution. No one can put up historic numbers every night. It doesn't work that way. But at least for 48 minutes, amid all the talk, it was Steph Curry who had the loudest word. Either the ball goes in or it doesn't. And last night it did. A lot. So, Fizz, you already knew how good Steph Curry was. What stood out to you watching last night, especially considering all the talk?
It's tough to even follow Draymond Green. Right? I mean, he hit it on the head. Well, you know your teammates well. When they don't look to pass, when the great ones just say, hell with it, I'm about to show you, you know that they're on a mission. And he was on a mission. It just makes the league exciting for me because, going into the season, Golden State, I was like, yes, we're getting back to this. And to see Clay go down, I think everybody kind of had the wind taken out of them. But Steph just reminded everybody that they're still going to be in this fight. And I think the toughest thing and the thing everyone's going to watch is, can he do it at a high level? Not 62 a night, come on. But the Steph Curry level that we've been grown accustomed to. Can he do that on a nightly basis and get his team a chance to get into the playoffs?
Well, look, they've had so many times where Steph Curry goes off like this, but they usually have so many other people who go off at the same time Steph does. And Rachel, I love how you put that liquid joy. He has this infectious game, and to do that when there's no fans there to feed off of him and to cheer him and the Warriors on, I thought that's what really made this game special. But the one thing that he's been struggling with this whole time is he wants to get his teammates going, right? But that can't come at the detriment of his own game and his own aggressiveness. And that's what I thought the difference was last night, is that he was aggressive, he was attacking, and that will feed to his teammates. Now, in the past, we used to refer to them as strength in numbers, right? That's why the Warriors were so good. They were so deep. I don't think we appreciated it at the time. The people in Oakland, they appreciated it. The coaches appreciated it. Now we all appreciated it because Steph is out there many nights with a bunch of rookies, young players, and Kelly Oubre, who's still trying to find a shot. So for him to do that with no crowd, nobody else to feed off of, that's what was so impressive.
And also, by the way, how Draymond Green plays in these games affects Steph. And Draymond did not score buckets last night. Everyone's talked about his stat line. But defensively, the way he played, the tone he set, the way he helped and enabled James Wiseman have that double-double, there is no replacement for this. Draymond Green was Draymond Green last night. And he's talked about needing a few games to get the wind back into him and everything. But if he can do what he did last night, he doesn't have to score a point. He still makes things easier for Steph and easier for the other guys around him. And that is why they had so much strength and all those numbers, Ramona, as you note. Now, I know the story was Steph and this huge explosion last night. But, Fizz, for you as a coach, did the win over the Blazers map out anything for you, bigger picture, about how the Warriors can play this season?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is a great moment to really get a lift off for their team. Draymond Green is just getting his legs underneath him. And then the Steph Curry that these young guys are used to watching from a distance, they got to see it up close. And all that does is galvanize guys around you. They gain more confidence. They feel more confident. And with Draymond Green, I've never looked at his stat line other than plus minus.
Right.
And a lot of people don't like the plus minus category, but I always put the film together with the plus minus.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. And his film always says, I'm helping my team and my teammates win basketball games. I don't care about the other statistical categories with him. I just look at that. And last night, plus 22. Draymond Green is going to slowly work his way back to who he is. He's got that monster lob threat down there, and Steph Curry coming along very fine.
Well, you know what you pointed out earlier, Rachel, which I think is right on, is Draymond Green and the way he passes, the way he facilitates that offense is everything for the Warriors. And it's what Steph was trying to do in his absence, but that's not. Steph can't do everything. He can't score and pass and make his teammates better and defend. He's got to just let Draymond be in that role. And you saw all those highlights we saw? Almost every single one of them was Draymond Green facilitating. It's something that I don't think we appreciated because we talk so much about Draymond as a defender and his trash talk. He's a great passer. Just an absolute great passer. Wow, that's a heck of a list.
Right?
Look at that.
Don't forget, people, he's not nice. Don't let the baby face fool you.
That's right.
He's ripped my heart out along with a whole lot of other people's hearts.
You know personally.
Oh, my God. You talk about two-time MVP. That is not easy to come by. We're talking about arguably the greatest shooter in our game ever. But this generation, him and Clay are just battling over it.
That is certainly true. And Ramona, just to follow up on what you said earlier, I do think him having the ball in his hands more was a factor, right? You talked about the idea that he's been trying to get everybody else involved. And at this point, as Draymond said, he was not looking to pass last night. I don't, again, know if he's going to have that many touches. You look at his numbers. I mean, they were the highest they had been for him on those kinds of categories in 4 or 5 years. I don't know if he's going to do that every night, but the idea that he could be a little bit more ball dominant is something that I know I heard the Warriors talking about post-game last night, and we'll have to see.
No one else goes deeper, that's a fact. One slide, one tap, it's the ESPN app.
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Make, miss. It's a make or miss league, baby. That's it.
In the end, that's it. I agree with Kawhi. Make Arrested Development. Hornets Sixers. Tobias Harris calls his own number and packs it.
Ooh.
Ramona Harris looking like Clippers Harris this year.
I don't know. I think that Doc Rivers has really
That
designed
was
some things to get him going.
I know Tobias Harris.
Just point out the
Wave.
topic bar
Yambo.
at the bottom of the screen for the Arrested Development fans there. Just saying.
Sorry.
Shouts, Bomber.
Sorry.
Miss Showtime. Bulls down almost 30, but Denzel Valentine decides it's a good time to get flashy, and it did not go well. If you were his coach, Fizz, what would you be saying to him in this situation?
We have to have a conversation about that one. This is not and one mixtapes, buddy. Go get a
I used to
layup.
do things like that when I played Fizz. You would
See,
hate me.
you
My
were
coach
probably
was like,
uncoachable.
what are you doing?
Uncoachable. But you probably made all your shots too, so you was probably
No,
tough to
I
take out of
didn't.
game.
I was just a total hot dog. It was just ridiculous.
I think we're going to need some video, Ramona. That's a
I know.
note to
We gotta
self
get
for
that
next time.
film.
I grew up watching Magic. I'm sorry.
Make decals. Lakers Grizz. LeBron pulling up from the logo. Fizz, did he do this when you were coaching him in Miami?
Yes. Yes, he did. And then he always
Look.
sometimes he just feels like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. And I think sometimes you just got, as a coach, hope that it goes in and look the other way if he misses.
Gonna have to guard him from there now.
Well, he is 36 years old now, 18 seasons, and I love that I still see things on the court. I mean, look how happy he was with himself after he hit that logo shot.
He can hit that shot from about 30 feet further back because he's so strong.
Well, he does the full court Kevin Love
Football pass,
lobs,
yeah.
right?
It's ridiculous.
Some of those can go in the hoop. All
Gonna
right.
have to guard him.
Miss Gravity, Hawks Nets fourth quarter. Hawks up big. John Collins elevates over Jared Allen, and that's not just anyone. That's Jared Allen.
He goes and gets it.
That's right. It's I don't know, Ramona. Business decision by Allen there. I mean.
No, you know what? He got in there and contested really well. And if you notice, he hung a little in the air there. John Collins had to pause, wait for Jared Allen to fly by. This is why he could be a dunk champ.
Why are the producers putting the airplane video in there? That's not right. Do not bring a man back to a low moment after a high moment. Let him have his. That's right. Good point.
He dunked on him. That's getting dunked on right there.
He had to let him fly by.
But Jared Allen's gonna go after it every single time.
Don't feel bad for that airplane. Make doinks. Titans with a chance to win it. Let's go over the NFL here.
Wow.
I like this.
Doink. Here we go. Doink. There it is. Does not go. Oh, it did go in. Right,
It
yes.
went in.
Doink.
You made it.
Do you think he called doink?
No, he did not call doink.
Doink.
But he is a happy man because
There
it
you
went
go.
in. I'll tell you that.
There you go. I always need the replay on the field goals when it first goes in. I'm like, what are they doing? Are they
I know.
going here? Are they going?
I could be standing right there and I still
I know.
couldn't
I have.
tell.
Yes. Time to run it back with the best doink winners ever. 2014. Blake Griffin against the Suns. Doink.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, just held on.
Game winner. Look,
That's pretty tame for Ballmer.
2012.
Shooting touch.
I know, that's so nice, right? Doink.
That is tame for Barber.
2012, KD versus the Mavericks. This was the first round of the
Look
playoffs.
at how
Doink.
tough that shot is.
Boom.
See, I think that's touch. This
Yes,
is
that's
a touch
absolute
shot.
touch.
This isn't a doink.
That's touch. Absolutely. And he's the only guy in the league that can make that shot.
Use that backboard. 1999, Allen Houston in Miami. That's touch. That's touch. Can you see little producer Steve in front of the TV? We didn't have that shot also?
A Knicks highlight.
I remember that right there. It ripped the hearts out of everyone in Miami. That was a tough one. It's a tough spill to swallow. What up, hey?
Sorry, Fizz. 86, Ralph Sampson. Historical doink.
Oh, you talking about some people in L.A. just, heartbroken. Never looked at the rim.
I was going to say, we're ripping apart both Fizz's childhood and his early work years here. You know it was coming. 2019.
The best doink
Kawhi
ever.
calls doink.
Oh, wow. I mean, you can't contest it any better. I mean, that
Embiid.
is a big-time shot. Wow.
I still don't know how he got it over him.
Look at that.
Man.
That's 7'3" in your face.
The fate of so much.
The Sixers
if that
felt some
ball
pain.
had tipped a little bit one way or the other. I'm just saying. All right, coming up next, you will hear Paul George's reaction to this dust-up with Devin Booker last night. Does PG still need to silence his doubters? We will discuss that. But first, here's what the Jump recommends for today. Kevin Pelton ranks the 7 surprise teams in the NBA this season. Head over to the app to see where the Hawks, Pelicans, and Suns rank. After the break, Fizz and Ramona are going to tell me if they're buying the Suns 5-2 start. Boom.
I'm a star, shining brightest in the darkest times. I'm a star, twinkle, twinkle, I bring the sparkle in, light your world up. Yeah, 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 light your world up.